All right, guys, this week I would like everybody to share their most recent photo on their camera roll. That's the topic. And now, understandably, there's going to be like photos that are like sort of throwaway photos, like whatever, shipping labels, or like a photo of like a receipt or something. Not interesting. I want your last interesting photo, or maybe serious photo. That's like, a photo that you actually like took of something that like, you actually like wanted to capture, like that moment in time, like a nice serious photo. The most recent one on your phone. And so I will start, and I will share this lovely picture of these two cats. One of the cats belongs to my girlfriend, so this is at my girlfriend's place, Sarah. And
wow, he did this just so he can flex on us.
Pretty much.
so
I knew it.
This is her cat. His name is Mel. This is her roommate's cat. His name is Cosmo. And yeah, I think Mel is an adorable cat. He's very loving. He's like a dog-like cat. Like he's like very friendly. He's like very warm to you, and like he gives you like little head rubs and stuff, and he lets you pet him. In contrast, Cosmo is a very mean cat, a very cat-like cat that like, I don't know, is like pretty pompous and maybe aloof, and is not very friendly. He's actually a little scared of me though.
So it's a cat.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It's pompous, but it's scared of you.
Oh, yeah, maybe pompous isn't the right word then. But I do think he's scared of me because, so the other day I was in the living room at their place, and then like he was like in a kitchen cabinet. And then we didn't realize he was in the kitchen cabinet until he poked his head out. And then when he was like, he had like both legs coming out, and then we saw him coming out. And then once he saw that we saw him, he went back into the cabinet. And then, so yeah, he closed the cabinet door. So yeah, definitely he's scared of me. I think he wouldn't do that if I wasn't around. And I think he's just like not used to me as a stranger.
Yeah, stranger danger is real.
Yeah, so maybe pompous isn't the right word. Aloof, maybe, and scared. Although yeah, one time though, like I feel like he likes to get into like little staring contests with me. I feel like one time we were in the same room and he was just like staring at me. And apparently like cats do this thing where like if they're staring at you, they're like trying to determine whether or not you're a threat. And so the thing to do is to blink slowly, or like you don't stare at them back. Because if you stare at them back, that means that you're like trying to like contest them. And so yeah, blinking slowly is like an important thing to do. That's something I learned recently.
I feel like you tried staring it back because you're just that competitive. I'm not losing to this cat.
No, I did do that in the beginning, and then Sarah was like, "No, you shouldn't do that because then it's just always gonna hate you." And so yeah, I don't know. I think this picture's nice. They love each other. They lick each other. I think that's a very interesting way that cats show their love, grooming each other. Yeah, I think it's a very nice picture.
Okay, I have 3 questions.
Okay.
I asked them. Okay, first, what is that purple thing?
Oh, great question. That is their slow feeder. So it's holding their food, their like kibble. Mel has this problem where if he eats too fast, then he will throw up. So he has to you have to limit like the rate at which he will eat his food. So like this forces like this. So like when it's like this, he can't like put his whole face into it and just like chomp it down. He has to like put his arm in and like take one out, and then he'll like eat it outside. So it regulates, it just slows him down when he's eating.
It's like a dispenser.
A little bit, yeah. In
a very low tech dispenser.
Very kludgy way. Yeah, so it's a slow feeder, and this is actually like one of the nicer slow feeders apparently. Yeah.
Okay. My second question was, is that a real plant?
Yes, it is a real plant. Sarah has a lot of plants at her place. She loves plants. This, I believe. Oh, who's this?
Melatonin.
Oh, it smells again. Okay. Shoot, what is this called? I should know it.
A ficus.
Maybe a fiddle leaf fig. Let me just look up a fiddle leaf fig. A fiddle leaf fig. Is it that? Yeah, maybe. Anyway, yeah, it's a
This
real.
man uses Edge.
I know.
Um,
Okay.
Subtle.
this is the
My-
largest plant that she has at her place, and she has, yes, I'd say close to 20 plants, if not probably more.
Wow.
And yeah, this is her biggest one, and yeah, they're just like sort of all over the place in her room.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
that seems like a lot of work.
No, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely like one of her hobbies, I think, taking care of all of her plants. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that like, at least growing up, I think I've mentioned this in a previous podcast, like growing up, I did not have a lot of like life at my like home. Like we had a lot of fake plants. So we didn't have any pets, right? Whereas, I mean, you know, she's got like bountiful plants. She actually bought like a brand new plant rack that has like, so she could get more shelf space, so she could get more plants. So yesterday we actually like assembled that plant rack. So yeah, now she's looking to get more plants. And then yeah, also has like these pets. And so yeah, in contrast to me, I've never really like had that sort of life at home. So I don't know. Yeah, no, I was actually going to mention that as like that's one of the other things I like about this picture.
Cool. And then my third question was, and I guess your response to the second has modified this. Are you a cat person, a dog person, or a sterile person?
What's
Okay.
sterile?
Like a
Nothing at all.
lifeless, you know, anti-life maybe.
Oh, that's me.
Fake plants.
Live. I think I'm a dog person. When I was a kid, I really, really, really wanted a dog. My dad was just not about it. I don't think he likes, my dad is a sterile person. And so he just would never let it happen. But for as long as I could remember, I really wanted a dog. And I think not having one or him not letting me have one sort of like numbed that feeling for a little bit. But I don't know, recently it started to come back. I think I would love a dog. But you know, I think I also like need a lot of space, and maybe like definitely a lot of space. I don't know. I'm thinking like a backyard for the dog to play in, and like walking it every day is a big responsibility. And I don't know if I'm like ready for the responsibility of a dog, but I think in principle I'm a dog person. I love how loving they are.
Why is a
That's-
fish person not an option? I
I
feel
should
like
have added a
that's
fourth
a better
tag,
way to phrase
other
sterile,
person.
right?
Fishes are pretty sterile, yeah. You just have to feed them, what, once a day?
Fish are actually very difficult to take care of, is what I hear. Like taking care of an aquarium takes a lot of work.
Actually, no.
Who says
My
you're
mom-
taking care of it?
My mom actually went through a fish phase, and we had like she had an aquarium in the kitchen. And yeah, like it was like a ton of work to clean that thing, and then the fish die quite frequently. So you have to replace them, and you have to like maintain their habitat and feed them. And, yeah, it was actually a lot more work than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it definitely is. So, you know, a proper fish person would be taking care of them, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's assuming like you actually have like real kind of expensive fish, not like a throw. That's mean. Not a throwaway
throwaway
goldfish.
fish.
Like a, you know, like a kid gets a goldfish and it survives for a little while in like a simple tank. You
Uh-huh.
know, that doesn't have.
You know,
a
it's
filter
funny,
or anything.
when I had fish, the longest surviving fish was always the guy we called the sucker fish. We understood that it just ate the dirt and unclean stuff in the tank. And that was the one that always lived the longest.
Dude, I remember we went on vacation once. And we came back, and one of my mom's fish had eaten the carcasses of the other fish. Like there's definitely a hierarchy. You have multiple fish. They cannibalize each other.
All right. Any other questions before we move on to the next one?
I guess what else do you like about this photo? I like the wood floor. It's a nice color.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, what's
paneling.
peculiar to me about the wood floor is do you see how it's on a slant?
I did, and I was actually a little confused about that.
Yeah. It's just it's like their place is like I feel like the whole place is basically like a pie, like a pie shape, like because like the place is like a circle, like the whole apartment, and then they're like one little section of the pie, of the circle, right? So like their place like tapers a little bit, and so there's just weird angles all around. And so yeah, that's
That sounds really like difficult to arrange.
yeah, it's weird. I
Like,
mean,
the
it's not
furniture in that
like they're like
situation.
literally at the tip either. It's more like they're like that. If you had like a pie shape and then you cut off the tip of the pie, that's like sort of what their place looks like.
There's a name for that shape, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like a curvy trapezoid. I don't know.
A wedge?
A wedge? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not saying that appeals to me in the picture, but yeah, that is that the wood floor is nice. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what kind of floor I would want in my, I don't know, ultimate home, because I have carpet here and I really like it. I liked it a lot in the beginning.
Don't tell Adriana that.
Oh, what carpet?
Yeah, carpet is a big no-no to her.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah,
I loved
well-
it in the beginning, but it's like a little hard to like clean and take care of. So
Exactly.
yeah, I don't know. No, but I think the thing that appeals to me the most are these cats. I think these cats are really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love these cats. Oh, I love Mel more than I love Cosmo, but it's okay. Cosmo's cool too. I think he's like a lot more attractive than Mel is. He's got like these beautiful whiskers and eyebrows. Mel is a little bit more dumpy. He's like a little chubbier and fatter, but I love him nonetheless. Yeah.
That's nice. It's nice that you can get along with both cats and dogs, because I've only ever had negative experiences with cats.
Interesting.
And yeah, I'm
No,
firmly
yeah,
about
I
this.
think if I had just met Cosmo, yeah, it would be like a, oh, this cat hates me. And yeah, no, but Mel truly is like a dog-like cat. Like, well, like just generally likes being around people, I think, and like socializing with people. Like runs to the door whenever you come home, and yeah, and like is friendly to pets, and yeah, maybe you just
I've
gotta
never seen a cat
find
like that.
a
That's
dog-like
cool.
cat is what you need. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Enough about that picture. Who's next?
Can I go next?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay, so this is one of the few photos I've taken in the past month. February 15th, it was snowing in St. Louis, and this photo shows the beginning of what was a 6-inch snowstorm, which was the same system that passed through Texas and caused all that chaos.
I see.
So yeah, so what you're looking at is actually the view out of the window that is directly in front of me. So my apartment faces like this interior courtyard, and our view is of the other side of that courtyard. And
Interesting.
I hate the view. It's the worst aspect of this apartment. The building is so ugly. I just hate the architecture of this complex. It's actually my biggest gripe about living here is that the architecture is just so ugly. So this shows you what I look at when I sit at my office and do work, is this disgusting building.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I mean, my big gripe is it's like you can tell just looking at it, right? It's a very generic sort of modern, like 3-story apartment construction, right? Wood frame. They just slap it up and it looks the same. And these big corporations put up these complexes and they look the same no matter where they are. Like this complex does not look like any other building in St. Louis, because St. Louis architecture is old. It's like a lot of brick and masonry, and this complex just sticks out because it's like this weird suburban style, like could be anywhere in America sort of vernacular that just is completely out of place and cheap and ugly. So I'm looking forward to moving and getting a better view in my next apartment. But otherwise, yeah, the snowstorm was quite the event. It was I think it was the biggest snowfall that I've experienced in St. Louis. Last year, we didn't get a storm quite this big. Basically, it looks like this all day, right? The sky was gray, and it was just like these snowflakes that looked really small, but actually accumulated to like a huge dumping of snow. So the looks were deceiving. It wasn't like a blizzard or anything. it was just like this continuous, like small flake, like, I don't know, atmosphere going on for 8 hours. Yeah, and the temperatures were awful. It got down to like -5 degrees at one point, and it was below freezing for about 12 days. So that was awful. And going outside was a chore. I had to like layer in ways I've never layered before. At some points, I felt like I was putting my extremities in danger by not
my
wearing
God.
gloves, which was dumb on my part. I should have like known better. But this was like it got so cold that like not wearing gloves or like a you know, covering your face and stuff was like actually putting yourself at risk. My dog hated it. She like had a really hard time being outside and going to the bathroom and everything. She, you know, her paws started to hurt from being in the snow for too long. So that was a challenge. Yeah, and then the city basically was, you know, pretty hard to navigate for a while. I didn't really leave the house for days. My car stopped working because it got too cold for it to start up. So I had to get it jumped after the storm by Geico roadside assistance. Yeah,
Wait,
so,
so you had to get like someone to fix your car?
well, yeah, they had to come and like jump my car because like,
it stopped while you were driving, right? So you had to.
no. It's just like I went outside
Oh,
to drive
okay.
my car and it wouldn't start.
Gotcha.
Because I think, yeah, once it gets below a certain temperature, well, as the temperature goes down, the battery loses its effectiveness, right? And the charge just wasn't enough to start the car. Yeah,
your
so-
complex doesn't have like actually no complex does have an indoor.
Oh, like there's covered parking.
Okay.
But that's extra, and I didn't pay for it, of course.
Ah,
Yeah, so like it looks really pretty, but it's a huge pain in the ass, and it's just hard to imagine living somewhere where this happens regularly. Because in St. Louis, like a 6-inch snowfall might happen once a year or less on average. It's definitely a unique event.
6 inches doesn't sound like that much for snow.
I mean, it's enough
I
to
mean,
like
that much
cover
for where?
everything.
For St. Louis, for Chicago, for like, I don't know. I feel like, you know, you regularly hear about, like, a
For
foot of
states in
snow.
that area, yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely like in the media, it was definitely covered like a heavy snowfall and the schools closed for a day, you know, that sort of thing.
Is this the most that
Um,
you've seen since being there?
Yeah, I think so. We had like maybe a 4-inch snowfall last year, but this one, like it just stuck around for a long time because it was below freezing for
Right.
almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, we like it turned into like these giant piles of snow after the plows came through that just took like about a week to melt after it got above freezing, and it really sticks around for an impressively long time. And it's a pain. And I stopped going to the gym. It's like incredible how much this disrupted my life. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't go to the office. I was just like, it was like the COVID quarantine, and then any semblance of outdoor life that I had within that context was eradicated. So I was truly indoors.
This is a sad picture, man.
Yeah, so basically winter is terrible, and I don't think people should have to experience it. And it is truly the worst season. That's this photo shows.
Oh my goodness. And the shitty architecture on top of that.
And the shitty architecture, yes.
Yeah. Well, that was actually, I wanted to bring it back to that. I had a question, maybe not a question, but a comment to how you described it. Like, I thought it was interesting how, like, on the one hand, this is like anonymous to you, like sort of the design of this architecture, like, oh, it's so corporate, right? Like these big corporations are popping these up all over America. But then you also mentioned how it's like how it's completely different from anything else in St. Louis. So like, in a sense, I don't know, it's like, I know maybe that's nice, right? Like the monotony of St. Louis is maybe punctuated by this almost, but I don't know.
I mean, I would agree if it looks good. I don't think it looks ugly. I don't know. It's like super. I don't like the paneling. I don't like the beige color.
I was gonna
and
say
the
I actually
weird,
like
like,
the color. I think I like the color.
Like I don't know the architectural terms, but the weird like double pointiness for sure. You know. Yeah,
I feel like I see a lot of apartments that look like that. So I don't know, it looks pretty standard to me.
It's standard, but it's like standard in like suburban areas off the side of a freeway somewhere. I guess there's a ton of this in Texas, but
Yeah, that's true.
you given the context of the neighborhood it's in St. Louis, it's just
It should be nicer.
so out of place. Yeah, and it should be made out of brick, and it should be kind of more urban looking, I guess. Yeah,
It
so,
should be made out of brick. Is brick best?
I mean, I think in my opinion, it's the most attractive building material. Yeah.
I prefer ore and wheat.
All right, no, let's. I'm more of a sheep guy myself.
So, any other questions about this photo and its context?
My eye's been drawn by the air conditioning units.
Yeah, another cheap.
Oh, that's what those are.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm wondering, do you know if so there's 3 rooms or 3 floors above these 3 air conditioning units. There's one associated with each floor.
Yes.
Can
Well,
you
no, I mean, there's
identify,
it's
maybe if you,
one per apartment.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know my air conditioning unit is on outside of the picture, but
Right.
somewhere over
Right,
here.
right below you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know which one it is? You can look at it and be like, that's the one.
No, I don't actually.
Wait,
Yeah.
the windows on the left don't seem to have air conditioning units. At
I
least not
noticed
from
that
this shot.
too. I noticed that too. So I'm not really sure.
No AC for them.
I mean, I know each apartment has its own thermostat, so each apartment must have its own individual AC unit.
For sure. No, absolutely. Where does the air go? So is the air does it go down the AC unit and is there a little tunnel of air that then goes back up into the buildings? Is that how this works?
Yeah, so you can see there's the interior fan rotates, right? And it pulls air in the top, I'm assuming.
I see.
And then it all gets processed, and then these pipes, I guess, pump it in.
Oh, there's little pipes there. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
So that's another thing about this complex is that all of the utilities are very exposed in a very kind of slapdash way. I feel in a lot of higher end complexes, they'll try and hide that stuff or bury it underground or put it on the roof, right? In a lot of Texas apartment complexes have the AC units on a flat roof, but
Okay.
here it's just it's out there. You can see it on the side of the building. It slapped it right on there. Saved a lot of money, I'm sure.
Sure. This is a nice little quad.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, we pay a slightly higher rent for the privilege of facing the courtyard. So I don't know. Apparently, it's supposed to be.
So you paid more for a view that you hate. That's
Yeah, I know, you hate this view so much.
Actually, yeah.
But
I mean,
maybe
almost
you wouldn't have hated it as much if you didn't have so much exposure to it. Constantly looking at it every day.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I guess it's better than the parking lot, right? Because the rest of the interior of the complex is a parking lot, so that's worse. I don't know. And these trees, when they're in bloom, they look pretty nice. So I guess it's better in the summer. But yeah, I'd rather be facing the street, which is over here. That's probably the best view.
Or right on the other side, you could see the medical center maybe.
Well, no, because on the other side of this building is a hotel with a parking lot.
Got it. Right there is. Okay,
There's
yeah.
also a freeway, and you can actually see the freeway light.
I know. I was gonna remark on the poor visibility in this photo. It's
Yeah.
100 feet or something, or no, might be more than that, a few hundred feet. But yeah.
Well, even on a clear day, there's nothing behind
Yeah.
this building to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting photo. It's
Thanks.
not a very fond one, but
Very depressing.
Sorry.
no. That was interesting. I like it.
I used to think that I was going to be a winter person because after years of living in Texas and being beaten down by the summers, I was yeah, winter sounds great. And I experienced it, and I'm no,
Psych.
summer. I'll take the Texas heat any day. It's worth it.
Well, the grass is always greener, right? In the summer.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a fan of winter more than summer. It's just the bugs. Winter does a beautiful job of getting rid of them. Nothing
Okay,
humanity
that's
can
true.
achieve can compare. This is Mother Nature at its best. Just
No, that is actually true.
here to get rid of these ants. Winter comes, they disappear on their own. It's beautiful.
I can't argue
Beautiful.
with
This
that.
is
And
why we need to
actually-
protect the environment, so that Mother Nature can keep doing this shit for us.
Facts.
That's
The
a
world
strong-
in balance.
That's a great
Facts.
point. I can't
Imagine
argue
if
with
there was no more winter, then there would be bugs all year round.
Oh God. Oh, that
Yeah.
would bug me so much.
All right. No.
So I can go next.
All right,
I
all
have a
right.
slightly more lighthearted photo. So
Go
I
ahead.
had to go a little further back because I don't usually take photos for deliberate purposes. And so here's the last photo I took deliberately for the purposes of keeping it. Because I got a bunch of like receipts and stuff that'll be like sent off and it's like whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or you got the alarm snoozing bit. But let's see. How can I share? Wait, there we go. You guys see this?
Yes, sir. It's manga.
Yes, so this was a
It's Kingdom.
manga that Alan recommended to me a while back. I stopped reading it since I got towards the end, and the pace at which I was reading, I didn't want to like flip back, see like 5 seconds every week. The reason why this one stood out to me is precisely because Alan recommended it to me. I looked at it and immediately I thought, that's Alan right there. the shit he's saying. He kind of looks like he's setting his tongue out. And he's like, ah, bunch of pussy. Right, like I just
Giving them the middle finger.
it's like the moment I saw it, I'm like, this is Alan right there. Right? And the context was, and the story,
God.
right? There was some kind of standoff, and they weren't supposed to start fighting yet, but sides had like a hot-headed person, and they were trying to provoke each other, right? So, you know, one of the hotheads got told basically to stand down, right? So he begrudgingly left, and then this other guy who didn't get told to stand down was like flaunting it in his face, and he's like, "Ha!" Right? And I was just like, yeah, that's also something I can totally see Alan doing. So, you know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this picture. And I completely forgot about it until I started scrolling back. And it's like, I remember why I took the photo of it because it made me smile, and it made me smile again. So maybe it'll make me smile again later down the
Oh,
line.
did you send this to Alan?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
It's probably more funny for me than it is for him.
Yeah, I was wondering why you had taken a picture of it, just because like that moment was just so that part of the manga was just so fun. You're like, I gotta save this.
Yeah, it's just I laughed a lot when I saw it. I was
Gotcha.
just like, I can't have it because everyone else is like super serious, like, oh, we're gonna win this, and then you got this guy who's just like,
So has it is this manga translated?
I'm sorry.
Like, was it originally written in English or in a different
I
language?
think it was originally written in Japanese, but
Okay.
I'm not sure. I never.
So somebody
read
had to translate a phrase in Japanese to be bunch of pussies. They felt like that was the most appropriate translation of whatever the original text was.
it. Yeah, presumably.
Text was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't speak Japanese. I don't know if there's like an equivalent. I doubt it would be with that exact noun. It'd probably be with a different noun.
All right, but something equally as like, I don't know, offensive.
Yeah. Someone with Alan's sense of humor, I suppose. And so then also, I guess, I don't know, there's another text box in here. Is that for the other panel that's to the left? It's preceding this panel?
I
think
don't
that's-
remember.
I think that's someone else speaking. Usually, I mean, the bubble's not pointing at him, but
Yeah. I guess I'm, drawn by David's last name here. I guess, the Qin dynasty, right? So like, is this Chinese? Is this something in Chinese history?
Well, the story is set in around right before Qin Shi Huang, like the first dynasty. Like basically, the story is supposed to be in the broader context of that unification war.
Oh, okay. So might this
but-
be a Chinese manga?
Oh, what?
Would this be a Chinese manga then?
No, it's definitely Japanese.
Definitely
The creator is Japanese, and he wrote it in Japanese. He
About
just
Chinese
took the
history.
setting to
Yeah, okay.
be China, since
Got it.
I don't know. Maybe there's a like I don't know too much about Japanese history, so I don't want to say too much. It just like there are certainly very colorful bits of Chinese history around here that would be good source material for this sort of thing, right?
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, manga writers will write about anything that's like interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
they won't stick to just their culture.
Yeah.
Although I think in a lot of the cases it is somewhat that, but yeah, good story is a good story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Just something that like I guess caught my eye was I don't know, just the drawing of the person's face. Like it's I haven't read the rest of this manga, but I remember you and Alan talking about it. But it seems even from the background, it seems that's something that's drawn very well. And I don't know that that part of his face drawn just looks so like I don't know out of place. Very like cartoonish. But I think it like I guess it fits the person's like personality and like what he's doing in the moment.
Yo, I
I
actually
feel like
like
you see
Definitely
that a
does.
lot. You see that a lot in anime where like there'll be a moment where the person's like acting like stupid or dumb or saying something, and like the drawing or the illustration of the face is just like much more cartoonish and not like extremely like detailed and serious anymore.
Yeah, like it looks very different from this face in the top left
Right,
corner.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you're right, you're right.
Exactly. Even like looking at that, look at the person's neck. Like that's some nice like detail, and look at the like clothes and everything, and then there's that person's face.
It's just a clown.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. And I also just noticed like a few moments ago that he is sticking up his middle finger. Didn't realize that. Is that an obscenity in Japanese too, in Japan?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Or is that
I'm not sure.
translated perhaps?
I don't think they would translate the art. That seems to be going a little too far. I may be wrong.
You know, maybe he wasn't really flipping them off. Maybe he was just like saying it's time to strike. You know, he was.
The arrows are pointing the wrong way, though. It's like a secret signal. Loose the arrows. All right, well, that's all I got, unless you guys have any more comments.
Do you know what? Oh, yeah, one question. Do you know what the little stars are in the sky? I see arrows, and then I see like.
I think those are like supposed to be characters, meaning sound effects.
Sound
Oh
effects.
yeah. Oh okay. I was like, what are you talking about, Ozzy? Yeah, I see.
Like automatopoeias, but like
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. that
What
makes
sound would
sense.
that be?
Yeah.
Maybe the sound of I don't know the arrows whizzing through the air or something.
Pew pew.
yeah, so something like
Pew,
that.
pew.
Pew pew.
No, not pew. Sorry. Pew pew.
I'm thinking more of a.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Ooh,
the
that was
arrows
good.
don't go pew.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's a. Then it should be like lower because these are like a little high in the air. It sounds like I don't know. Interesting. Okay. Visual onomatopoeias. I like it.
Yeah, it actually does that a lot in this comic. So I mean, I've seen other panels. So unless I'm wrong on all of those, I assume.
Are you still keeping up with this?
No, I got to. Well, I mean, it
Or do you
started
plan on
feeling
looking back at
repetitive,
it? Oh,
and
okay.
I was nearing the kind of the latest section, right? And I was reading it really fast, right? So I don't want to like have to slow the pace down to be like read
Gotcha.
a new 2 pages every week, and
Yeah.
like that wouldn't work for me. So
Would you recommend it?
would I recommend it? Yeah, I mean it's decent enough. I don't see it as being quite universal in the sense. So like it like you'd really have to see for yourself. Like I feel like it's one of the things that you could like. It's not like poorly done. It's just that it might not be to your taste. It's definitely going to be like a personal taste sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I think you'd have to get at least like, I forget what the unit is, the chapters or issues, but like you have to get like 30 or 50 units in before like things start getting interesting. The stuff at the beginning, like you can
Set- a lot of
tell from
setup.
some of the author's own kind of comments afterwards, it's like I didn't think I'd get so much attention and love from my fans. So like now it's time to like do the story seriously. At the beginning it's just kind of like all over the place, trolling around. Like you just get these random incidents and like doesn't seem very connected or anything, but people liked it. So
You share the name one more time?
I think it's called Kingdom.
Okay.
King.
Yeah.
Try looking it up.
All right. Cool. Funny picture. Funny picture. All right. Who next? Melis?
I guess I can go.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I got my picture up. Let's share the screen. Where's the? Where's the share screen button? Am I
It's
crazy?
green.
The green one.
It's the chat.
Oh wow, it was right there in the middle. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, I got tripped up by that too because I was looking for a white button, right? Because they're all white, and then there's the green one. You thought it's just like an icon.
Yeah, it's like
Or UI design.
Oh my god.
okay.
Dude. Oh my god.
Ah, yes, yes.
Oh.
So,
You gonna try to explain this?
so the poster. So this is a picture of the poster, but I'm sure some of you are already familiar with this. But this is my Mr. Will Rice poster from Mr. Will Rice 2018. Yes, I was cleaning out my desk. And I actually didn't remember where I had placed this, and I was cleaning out the desk, and I was like, "What's this folded up like giant paper thing?" And I unfolded it. I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" So yeah, this was a fun picture. Oh my god, it brought back a lot of memories. That was just such a interesting time back at Rice. I don't know if I was a freshman coming in, I don't think I ever would have imagined me doing this.
Yeah. Okay.
It took
Yeah,
years
lot-
of degeneracy to lead to this.
I'm a degenerate now. But yeah, Mr. Will Rice 2018. Thanks for all the help. I think Ozzy was the one that took this picture.
I believe so, yeah.
Yep. This was in the triple, I believe.
Oh, it's in the P suite, which was
The piece. Oh, the P suite.
usually
Yeah.
housed 2 people, but then we filled it with.
Oh, right. It was you, J Kim, and Tuck.
Yep.
I
Yep.
can't believe you put your body on the couch like that. Probably not wise.
I mean, you guys probably can't tell from the picture, but I am wearing underwear.
I remember.
Oh, okay.
If you zoom in really closely to the
You can
crotch
see like a
area,
band.
Yeah, you can see a band.
Oh, but yeah, Mr. Will Rice was fun. I'm glad I did it. I think
Yeah,
it
no,
was,
that
I'm pretty sure it
was
was
an
Alan that
amazing-
convinced me.
That was an amazing performance too.
Yeah, it was just really fun. The walk-in, the walk-in was like probably my favorite part, or one of my favorite parts. Because we
Not
did,
the
I think
dance.
Black Panther had just come out.
Oh.
Yeah, but that involved like all of us, and it was a lot more
Right, that's true.
interactive, So Black Panther just came out, and we were all walking out doing the shoulders raised thing, and then we did the scene where he like gave him like the magical juice or whatever, and we used the like A1 sauce. Oh my goodness! And then of course there's the dance, which I guess I didn't technically choreograph it. I guess you could say. And none of those are original moves, but I guess it was the first time that I had practiced anything, I don't know, I guess original-ish
Mhm.
myself. Like any of the dancing I had done then was either just like at parties and on the fly, just kind of freestyling, or when we'd have choreography from basic, which was usually just us doing choreography that someone else had already done. I guess this is the first time I prepared anything like myself, so it was really fun. Yeah, I don't remember how long I went to the gym, but I went to the gym for like maybe like 4 days for a couple weeks. And then practice in the little recreation room, getting all the steps together. It was super fun though. It was extremely tiring too. Like I've never danced. I don't think I've danced for that long before. Even like our dances with basic, like they're usually like no more than like I feel like a couple, like maybe a minute and a half. But if I remember looking at the video, like I feel like it was like 3 minutes long. So I was extremely tired.
Yeah.
Then looking back at it, I can notice that I was tired because like I feel like some of my steps were getting like kind of they weren't as clean. Yeah, it was super fun though. And of course I won. Your boy got the tiara. I actually don't know where it is anymore though. I don't know if I threw it away or I just lost it. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to win, TBH.
What? After a performance like that? And after this incredible picture? I mean,
I don't know, there were some other fun performances. Like what was his name?
Well, the people decided. No,
People decided.
Don't worry about that. You did a great job.
Yeah.
I remember the dance much more than the picture, but yes, the picture was also pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't remember why I had decided to do Catan. I mean, obviously, we played it a lot, but I feel like I think when the coordinators or whoever was in charge of planning it, at some point they made a post about everybody. I don't know if the post came first or they made the post after I had this poster out, but like they called me the Catan guy or something like that. So I can't remember if they called me that because of the poster or I did the poster like this because they called me that. One or the other, but I guess we had been playing Catan in the commons area so much, making a lot of noise and ruckus. So
What was our thing?
But yeah, really fun. I'll never forget like the day I was moving out, and my sister and like family friends are like helping me clean out my room. They're like, this was folded up, and then they picked it up. They're like, oh, what is this? And then they open it and they're like, oh my gosh. Like they were so thrown because I hadn't told them about it. And then they were just like extremely shocked. And I was like, okay, let me put this away because I think my mom wasn't like in the room yet, and I didn't want to show it to her. Because that would be a hella awkward conversation. But regardless, like maybe about half a year or a year later, I'm just like chilling I think maybe I was eating dinner in the kitchen. Or I was chilling and watching TV, and my mom calls my name. I'm like, yeah, and then she's like, I found your sexy picture.
Wow.
And I'm like, my what? I was like, oh no.
Oh, so your mom's seen this picture?
Oh yeah, she's seen it. Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I might have been like a little like too worried about it, but she thought it was hilarious. I feel like she might have wanted to send it to people. I was like, no.
Love it. Did you ever do that dance again?
Did I what?
Ever perform that dance, like maybe for your family or anything like that?
No, I've shared the videos though.
Yeah.
But I mean, all the dance was just, I mean, for maybe you guys don't remember, but I think I was doing like an evolution of dance thing, but something that's a bit more current, because I think the original evolution of dance was like made in like, I don't know, the early 2000s. I also don't remember it involving a lot of like kind of hip hop dances or, of course, none of the current stuff. So I think I started from like the 70s with like disco and then ended somewhere around, what was it? I don't remember what the last dance I was, but I was doing dances that were kind of from the late 2010s. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. I mean, they're all dances that I think I could do like in general. but just putting it all together in a kind of choreographed sequence, it was fun. You know, a lot of good memories.
Mhm.
Very cool. This photo is iconic. It's just so aesthetically well crafted.
Let me
Right.
let me to my own horn a bit here too. As a photo taker, we had to as a photographer, I suppose. We had to perfect the lighting. Like you'll notice that, like, you know, we basically had a bunch of lamps over on like the left and I think the right, but I guess maybe more on the left. 'Cause the light is really shining on him. Like we were blasting him with lamps from all sides.
He looks like a god, dude. It's
No, right?
Great product.
I know. Bro, when I pulled it out and I was looking at the poster, I was like, I look good. Like the shadows, the lighting, good work, Ozzy. I gotta say.
I love the bottles in the background. It just adds this,
Right?
like, air of mystique and like royalty. And the wood panel is just perfect.
Yeah.
The only thing missing is someone feeding me grapes.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. Such a funny picture.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
I didn't know you were playing chess. I'm looking at some of the other pictures you got up here. You playing chess, Melis?
Oh, I am not. No.
Oh,
No.
okay, never mind. There's a lot of chess screenshots though, so yeah. All right.
That's other people playing.
All right.
All right, I'll stop the share.
All right, well, that leaves one more. Mr. David Chin, what you got? Oh, okay, here we go.
This is from the weekend. It's part of a series. I just went hiking with a friend of mine. So this is the last one. And I took a picture of the sign just to make a note that I've been here and I should not go here again.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No. That's because I don't repeat hiking spots for the most part.
Oh, okay. I
All
guess just you've never done a hike more than once.
With one exception, no.
One exception. All right, interesting.
How do you say the name?
Chattahoochee?
Okay,
The
Chattahoochee.
name, yeah, it's the name of a river in Atlanta. It goes around Atlanta, and you can go and like, I think you can go. What's it called? Inner tubing.
Oh, that was fun.
So
So
that's
this
on my
is
bucket list.
part of the Appalachians.
Yes, this is an Appalachians. It's great.
I
So
see that this is actually a stop on the Appalachian Trail.
yes, and
What is
you're
that?
actually goes from like literally right there, and it goes across the street and it keeps going. So I've done bits and pieces of the AT, but definitely not been, been dedicated enough to do the whole thing.
Yeah, I know someone from Rice, a city, who did most of the Appalachian Trail. He went from
Is a
Georgia up to,
Yeah.
I think it got to like Pennsylvania or something.
Gosh.
Yeah,
Wow, that's impressive.
multi-month life excursion.
Yep. It's kind of crazy if you're able to put up with it. It takes a lot out of you. I think people who do it come back and they're a little bit different and they're changed for their time in the wilderness.
Yeah. I can't imagine being in nature. Well, really for any significant amount of time, but especially for that long.
Yeah. I've done bits in Georgia and also in North Carolina. I like the sections in North Carolina more. This is in North Carolina.
Oh,
Oh, this picture was taken in North Carolina?
Yeah, I was in North
Oh, okay.
Carolina. I think maybe this was in Georgia. Most of the time I go up to North Carolina. It's deeper in the mountains and it's just a little bit farther. So
So you have a car, right?
I have a car. Yes, I I normally go for the sunrise, which means waking up at like 2 a.m. But on this day, I went with a friend, and the two of us just went during the day because he doesn't like to wake up at 2 a.m.
How
So
did
did
this
you-
compare to some of your other hikes?
It was good. There's a let me scroll. Can I scroll?
Oh, okay, we get a little series. Oh
Just
wow.
Ooh, the money shot.
Oh, when
That's
did you do this?
beautiful.
This looks
Winter?
like this is that's what I was about to say. It looks like it's like
When?
fall or late fall or winter.
No, this
Everything
is
looks
winter. It was
dead.
last week.
It was last week. Okay, yeah.
So everything looks dead. Can confirm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be nice to go during the summer or during peak fall season. I've always missed peak fall season. I end up being like busy that weekend or something.
Writing
so-
like an NSF proposal,
week
maybe.
yeah. So yeah, but it's nice. It's nice because it's quiet. It's so quiet, like you couldn't believe. All you hear is the trees, and if there's no wind, then you hear nothing. And I think that's pretty special.
Because the bugs are dead.
Yes, thank you. Yes, and thank you for mentioning that because I generally don't as much in the summer because it's super hot and there's clouds of insects trying to attack me. Yeah, I do have bug spray and I do have a mosquito net to put over my head with a hat.
Hmm.
So that's
Yeah, I feel like this little corner of the country where like Georgia and North Carolina and Tennessee kind of converge. It's like I just don't know anything about it. It's just so obscure to me.
there's a lot. There's
Come
a lot
on
of
over.
There's a lot of history that I don't understand. I went a previous time, probably a month ago now, and that was one of my sunrise excursions. And let me see if I can pull it up. Oops. And I met this guy at the top, and he goes like every week, and he lives not far from the mountains, so he kind of it's a matter of like a half hour to 45-minute drive to go wherever he wants.
Oh.
And he goes every week, and he knows so much about the local history. He was like telling me, "Oh, you know, when you were going up the trail to this fire tower, like there's like an old gold quarry or whatever next to it." I was like, "How do you know these things?" Just the history of the people who lived here and what they've done is really fascinating, and it's not very well known. It's not something that people just usually study. It's like who wants to study the history of the Appalachians, but if you go there pretty frequently, I guess you become interested.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird, but the first thing that popped into my mind when I started seeing these like, top down into the valley shots was, I wonder if this is what the battlefields in the Korean War looked like.
Yeah, or in China, in southern
Korean War.
China.
In
Yeah.
southern China, also like this.
I'm guessing if you go to like southern China or parts of like where Xi'an is now, it might be a little bit more rugged. At least a part outside of the eastern plains of China. And I agree with you on Korea.
Yeah, because I was just like, because my impression from watching any films, either Hollywood or like just kind of documentary style things, is just like, it just felt like if I was there, I was supposed to fight for something as an American, I would just be like, what is there to fight for here? Like, it's literally just dead trees and I'm gonna die here too. It's like, it's so demoralizing. Like,
Well, what would you want to fight for then? Living trees?
it's just like, it's like literally like you can't imagine why someone from the other side of the world would care about you, because that's
Well,
what it ended
it's-
up being.
But you don't have to care. You're there because the guy leading you guys said go there.
Well, so here's the thing, right? Like, I don't know how much of this is true in the like in actual, as if a professional soldier really cares, but my understanding just throughout history is if your army is kind of got some kind of motivation, for whatever reason, for like why I'm fighting, like things tend to go better for your side, right? So like I'm just thinking like,
But I don't think your motivation is intrinsically tied to the piece of land you're fighting for. It's tied to your ideals, or it's tied to the piece of loot, or whatever.
well, so
It's
I
not
on
tied-
ideals, right? On ideals, if I was here, I mean, this is just me, right? Like, I'm just like, I cannot see how my ideals are being furthered by fighting for that hill over there because like, it's just one hill after the next. That was how I understood the fighting to go, right? It's like whoever has the highest hill has an advantage and you just have to try to get to the next hill. But it's just,
I mean, there's a disconnect between, this environment and whatever ideals you're fighting for. The two,
exactly.
but it's going to be disconnected no matter what landscape you're fighting for.
Well, at least I would hope that there's like, not for the civilian casualty side of thing, but like I would hope to at least be like, okay, maybe I'm defending a city, or like, there's people, like somebody cares.
Right.
Here is just like everything's dead anyway. So why are we here?
I don't think the Appalachians or other mountain ranges are what. Yeah, I don't think that's what people fight wars over. I think it's harbors and rivers. Right, those are the two things that really matter. Everything else is kind of like an appendage that you can take or leave.
Right, but like in actuality, where a lot of the fighting happened in the Korean War was like, I'm guessing, landscapes that would look like this. Like if you were on top of hills, like finally I took this hill after 3 days, right? You sit down and you look like, oh, look at all the other hills that we're gonna have to try and take. It's like, why?
So maybe an army full of Georgists would really, be well motivated to, really appreciate the value of the land.
It makes sense. Hey, Georgists, Georgia. Hey,
I mean, like the entire point of the Korean War was to control this like peninsula, which is really centrally located geopolitically, and it has some great locations for large cities like Pyongyang and Seoul and Busan and whatever. It makes sense, right?
I mean, don't forget the
the mountains
communist
are just the
influence,
inconvenient part you have to get over to control the entire thing.
Kevin pulls up to the battlefield. He's just like, "This is what we're fighting for." I was like, "Oh no, my leg just broke out of nowhere." I can't
Just
fight
turns
now.
around, goes home.
Like, why are we at the beach, guys? Come on.
It's just like in World War II, like when the Americans and Japanese were fighting over all of these like tiny like worthless islands in the Pacific, like Iwo Jima, right? And Guam. Like you can't do shit with these islands; they're worthless. But if you can control them, then you can put a little air base there, control more islands, and it's like and eventually you have like a nice little empire.
Yeah. You got to see the forest through the trees, Kevin.
Yeah,
Dead
yeah.
trees.
On the hills.
But I do want to.
Which is really easy to see through because there's no leaves there.
I'm sure that like a lot of American soldiers went to like Guam or like the Midway Islands or whatever, and were like, "There's these sort of lifeless rocks like in the middle of the Pacific. Why are we here?"
Wait, have y'all
Probably did
all
feel
of
pretty
you,
worthless.
or have most of you seen The Lion King?
Of course, yes.
Okay, do y'all remember that scene where Simba finally comes back with Timon and Pumbaa to decide to fight, and then they pull up to Pride Rock, and it looks terrible now. It's like all droughted because like Scar ruins it, and then Timon's like, "Yo, this is your home? We're gonna fight for this." That just reminded me of that scene.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Well,
right, great.
I think this was a great topic, a great one-off.
Yeah. No, thanks for entertaining me. I thought that was and sharing your pictures, lovely pictures, a nice diversity of them. All right, then let's call it here. Oh wait, no, not that.